My Beijing, Four Stories of Everyday Wonder, is a graphic novel by Nie Jun, translated by Edward Govin, published in 2018 by Graphic Universe. From a young age, the author taught himself Lianhuahua, a traditional Chinese art form consisting of a series of small, sequential drawings that are the precursors to comic books. In My Beijing, this art style is echoed in the formal layout, with pages featuring 1 to 5 full-color panels, each watercolor illustration portraying distinct scenes from the stories. The narration primarily consists of the characters' dialogue, with only a few editorial notes scattered throughout. This graphic novel is a heartwarming exploration of family, simplicity, and the individual's dreams within the context of an urban setting. The central character is Yu, a young girl with a physical disability who uses a crutch to walk, which causes her to face occasional exclusion from her peers. Alongside her is her grandfather, affectionately called Grampa, a jovial, portly retiree who takes pride in his family and his nostalgic memories of youth. The 4 stories unfold in the Beijing neighborhood where Yu and Grampa live, as well as in the imaginative worlds they create together. The first story, Yu's Dream, introduces Yu, who is excluded from a neighborhood swimming pool due to her disability. Undeterred, Grampa devises a creative plan to help her swim despite her inability to walk. He suspends her from a tree by a rope attached to her waist, using the branch as a pulley, while coaching her on swimming strokes from his lawn chair in the courtyard. As Yu hangs in midair, the neighborhood children gather to watch her perform swimming strokes. Later, while Grampa naps, Yu dreams of swimming, or rather, flying, above the rooftops, with the vibrant urban skyline serving as a backdrop. In the second story, Bug Paradise, Yu is again excluded by other children, this time after they harm a butterfly in the alley. Grampa sleeps in his chair while Yu faces off against the able-bodied children, who mock her and challenge her to a soccer game. A charming but overweight young boy emerges from up the alley, threatening the bullies, who then beat him up, but eventually leave Yu alone. The boy proposes that they revive the butterfly by placing it in a jar and bringing it to a bug's paradise, a magical garden where insects sing together in harmony. After enjoying the enchanting concert of insects in the garden, the boy introduces himself as Du Bao and hands Yu the butterfly in a jar before biking away. Yu is curious how he knows her name, but he has already disappeared into the distance. When Yu returns home, traveling in a shopping cart, her grandfather awakens from a dream and claims to remember something about the bug paradise that his granddaughter has described. He also reveals that Du Bao was his childhood nickname. To cement the connection, the story ends with a vintage photograph of Grampa, strikingly similar to the mysterious boy who helped Yu during her adventure in the bug paradise. The third story, The Letter, begins with Yu riding on her grandfather's back as they walk through the city streets. Grampa notices an old green letterbox and tells Yu that he used to be a mailman who collected stamps. As he shows her his collection, his memories trigger a flashback to when he wore a lime green uniform that matched the old-fashioned mailboxes. He recalls a time when he came into possession of a rare stamp that needed a specific mate. Upon delivering a letter with the matching stamp, he meets the recipient, a young woman who also desires the stamp for her own collection. Grampa, respecting her wish, gives her the stamp and asks if he can visit her from time to see the 2 stamps together. She agrees, and Grampa reveals that this woman was Yu's late grandmother. Moved, Yu decides to write a letter to her grandmother, which she posts in the old letterbox. The final panels show the letter being delivered back in time, and Yu's grandmother of the past reading the letter from her granddaughter, asking her to be kind to the mailman. The fourth story, Kids at Heart, features Yu and her grandfather alongside an older artist named Pumpkin, who is a foil to Grampa's cheerful personality. Pumpkin, embittered by the commercial failure of his art, is offended when Grampa asks him to draw a diagram to encourage the neighborhood residents to recycle. Storming off in frustration, Pumpkin climbs to a rooftop and accidentally falls, injuring himself. Grampa rushes to help, taking him to the hospital and even lending him his dentures so he can eat an apple. The story concludes with Yu becoming Pumpkin's art student. The two sit together on a hilltop, painting the urban skyline. These stories, brimming with time travel, dreams, and the limitless possibilities of human imagination, are brought to life by My Beijing's charming illustrations and captivating narrative. It is a touching portrayal of a special girl's extraordinary relationship with her grandfather. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe.